Good morning, students. My name is Mr. Wyke, and I'm one of the assistant principals here at Owatonna High School. And I wanted to take a moment out of my day to talk to you a little bit about registration. One of the things that I want you to know about registration is that there are some processes that have changed this year. With COVID and distance learning, we've had to think about registration in a different way. And I think you're going to appreciate some of the changes because it's going to give you a little bit more time to explore and think about classes, as well as connect with your Compass advisor to make informed decisions. So a couple things that are going to change. Number one, it's going to be all virtual. Because we have students in different learning models, we need to make sure that they can get the same information as the in-person students. So what we're going to do is we're going to run 3 Compass meetings. The one today, February 3rd, the 17th, February 17th, and then also February 24th. Those are 3 meetings that you'll have that will allow you to connect with your Compass teacher, as well as get some information from me and your advisor, so that you have all the tools that you need to register successfully. This and this is the master schedule. Essentially what you're looking at is a visual representation of all the classes that we offer at our school, when they're offered, and who teaches them. How do we get to this complicated schedule? Well, it starts with registration. Here's the main reason that registration is so important. We take the courses that you register for and we create the master schedule based on that. So all the classes that you choose, we look at the requests that are made and we decide on what number of sections that we will run of that particular class. So sometimes you might find that one class only runs once in an entire school year. That's because we only have enough registrations to fill that one course. Some classes, they don't get offered because not enough students register for them. So that's why it's really important for you to make good decisions about what courses you register for. When you put your registrations on the worksheet, make sure that these are classes that you really care about and want to take. Because the other thing to think about is these classes are how we figure out which sections to run and which teachers teach them. So for us to have the best schedule possible, we need to make sure that students are making the most informed decisions about their courses. Now, it doesn't mean that you'll get every single course that you want, because some courses might not be offered. But as you're thinking through it, make sure that you are picking classes that you want to explore. I'm sure looking at these boards, you notice that there's a lot of courses that we offer at OHS, and it might seem overwhelming. Well, maybe if not to you, maybe to your parents. So how do you start to make decisions about choosing courses? Well, I'd like to offer you some thoughts on that. Through Compass, you should be exposed to the program Naviance. Naviance is a tool that we use at our school to help students take assessments on their interests and their strengths. Throughout the 4 years that you're here at OHS, you will have multiple opportunities to continue to explore your skills and what you like. And that's something to consider when registering. We've developed Compass as a way to help you reflect on those particular areas, starting to think through in Compass what classes you're taking and what pathways they fall into. As you know, Owatonna High School is a career pathways high school. What that means is that we have identified specific courses that align to distinctive pathways. Those pathways help give you real-world opportunities to explore and understand where your interests are. I think exploration is a key term. When you look at registering as a 9th or 10th grader, it's important to explore different areas. You may not know what your strengths and skills are. This is a good opportunity to test the waters and find that out.
With the core curriculum as your foundation and global electives, they'll help expose you to different career pathways that you might explore.
We'll have multiple opportunities for you to reflect on your registration as we go through Compass to make sure that you're getting a great idea of where your skills and abilities intersect with your interests. This is a copy of last year's registration guide. The registration guide is a useful document. The registration guide itself contains a lot of information that you as a student will need to know.
So here it is. No, I'm kidding. Actually, this is my laptop. But like I said, this is a digital copy. So you'll be receiving an email with a digital copy of the registration guide. A couple things that we're going to need to do is introduce changes. I'm going to go over how to navigate the guide and specifically how to find courses within. So let's go. Let's begin by talking about the most obvious change in the registration guide, and that's the fact that it's digital. Looking at the guide, you'll notice that it's a PDF document. It's housed within our Google Drive, so that way we can share it out with everybody who has the link. We will have this linked on our website, as well as the Reg support website. It'll also be emailed out to students and families. When you get the link, click on it and download the document. I would say that it makes a lot of sense to create a folder within your Google Drive. That way, students, you can access and save things that you're working on into that folder for further reference. So here we go. Right now, I have this pulled up in preview, and you can see on the left that I've opened up the thumbnails so that we can see the different spreads moving through the guide itself. But I think just to talk through this, it's going to look a little bit better if we just view this in full screen. All right, so now we're looking at the cover of the guide for this year. As I said, the changes in the guide and how to navigate it are going to kind of work hand in hand. Because it's a digital document, you're going to be able to do some things that you wouldn't have been able to do with the old paper hard copy. So one of those things I'm going to point out right here. Anywhere you see blue text, that is going to be a hyperlink within the document itself. Other blue links that you might see are active, and if you hover over them, you will see where they link to. It may be an external website, or it may be within this particular guide itself. So that should make navigation a little bit easier within the book. I mean, you can certainly flip through and look through the guide and discover it, but what you'll notice is that that's a lot of scrolling. So on the bottom right-hand corner, I've put a link into the document that will bring you right back to the table of contents. That way, if you're looking for specific information, you can jump around the guide. You can certainly feel free to scroll through it. So finding courses, there are a couple ways that you can do this. Courses by pathway and complete lists are on the same spread, so I'm going to start there. If you look at the left-hand side page, you'll see a listing of all the courses by departments. And those are also hyperlinked within the document to the pages where their course description can be found. On the right side is a list of classes organized by pathway. Advisement and Compass, Learning in the Core Curriculum, and Experiences in Global Electives can guide you toward further exploration in the career pathways. All these programs are being redesigned to support and complement one another. Now let's get back to it. Within each pathway, you'll notice that the courses are listed by department within. When we go to the actual pathway itself, they will be in alphabetical order. The top boxes that list the pathway themselves are hyperlinked to those pathways. Within each pathway, the courses are arranged in alphabetical order. Let's look at some of the details. On the top, you'll notice that the course is listed in the color of the pathway, and the course number should follow that. In this case, this course isn't offered this year, but it is offered in a sequence, so it's still noted in the guide. Next will be listed the amount of credits and the number of quarters. So this is a 1-credit class, so it is 2 quarters or a semester course. So as you're filling out your worksheet, you'll need to indicate that that is a 1-credit class. We also note that If a class is a college in the schools course, we will also indicate the number of credits and from what institution those credits can be earned if you successfully complete the course and are registered, as this is a concurrent enrollment course. So it is also only open to grades 10, 11, and 12. And you'll notice the last line is prerequisite. So that means what courses do you need to take in order to take this class. So there are courses that need to be taken in a sequence, like Art 1, Art 2, and Art 3, and you'll notice that the prerequisites change. The icons next to each course number indicate something as well. This is an AP course, which means that it has a different grading scale. It has the ability to gather college credit by taking an AP test, as well as it is a college in the schools course, so it can be enrolled again concurrently with SMSU as well. So those icons are arranged to indicate different things throughout the guide. For example, this is a course that is an arts credit, and you'll notice that it is 0.5. If you click on the link, it will bring you to a description of what those icons represent. If we were to go back to our page and click on an AP or college in the school icon, we would end up at this general information page that lists the OHS college credit courses that we offer and the criteria for enrolling in those courses. I've shown you how to navigate to the different career pathways. Now let's go and look at the core curriculum and global electives. Here we are in the core curriculum. The core curriculum are your required core courses, like language arts, for example, science, math, and social studies. In each section, you'll find a sequence of courses that teachers have put together to recommend different sequences of learning, depending on what your interests are. If you are looking for college and career preparation, these are the classes that are recommended that you take. If you are looking at a more selective university, like let's say the University of Minnesota, Gustavus, something like that, you might follow this track of recommended courses. If you're looking at trying to get college credit while you're still in high school, looking at some of these classes will set you up nicely for that. I want to point out that the core area also have electives. As you can see, courses that are required for graduation are outlined here, but there are classes that are electives that you can also take that are connected to that area. In each of these boxes, it lists the type of courses that are offered. If we scroll down here and we're looking for those elective courses, these are the different pathways that those courses fit into. Otherwise, if you want to discover, follow this route, click on the link, and then look for that particular course. The global electives can be found immediately preceding the core curriculum. Within the global electives, you will find music and world languages grouped together by course. I'd also like to point out an all courses by department link that gets you back to the full list of courses that is on the bottom right corner of the page. Additionally, you'll find QR codes throughout the guide that you can scan with your camera and link to presentations or videos or other web links. So just take some time to explore the guide. And this brings us to the end of our presentation today. I think we met our goals of introducing the guide and spending a little time getting comfortable with what's different and finding courses. In our next meeting, we'll start talking about the registration process, filling out worksheets, and making those final selections of class. In our final meeting on the 24th, we'll be going over the mechanics and the process of registration. Thanks for listening, and have a great rest of your day.